This isn't your usual tea, let me tell you. Mama Jones just came clean about Chrissy Lampkin. There is a lot of drama, dishonesty, and an unexpected health crisis, with Chrissy Lampkin battling leukemia and Jim Jones completely crushed. There's more though. Mama Jones isn't keeping anything in anymore. She has been discreetly pursuing Chrissy for years, as you may be aware, but now she is coming clean. Secrets that caused a stir in the sector. What did she discover? Is this some sort of sick behind-the-scenes reality TV? Prank gone too far? Or is Chrissy truly fighting for her life? Listen, some people are claiming that Chrissy has been hiding this for months. But why? Social media is going into full meltdown mode. What exactly is Jim going through at the moment? You aren't ready for what we're going to find out in. Folks, this is not a drill. Guess who delivered the tea? Chrissy Lampkin and Jim Jones recently received some of the most unexpected news of their relationship. Mama Jones herself. She will either speak in a sloppy, contentious, or direct manner, as you can already see. To learn the true tale behind this crazy mess, grab some popcorn and click the like button. Tumultuous, and because all three are involved this time, let's take a moment to travel back in time. This narrative is more intricate than you might think. As we all saw on Love and Hip Hop, Chrissy and Jim's relationship has been problematic from the start. The infamous "you will never be my daughter-in-law" incident, ongoing turmoil, Mama Jones's dislike of Chrissy, and 10 years of engagement with Anna's wedding were all part of it. Although everyone was taken aback, the drama has since changed completely. According to rumors, Chrissy has been battling leukemia, but she hasn't disclosed the news to anyone, not even her friends, fans, or worst of all, Jim. However, let's first discuss how even leaked because, trust me, the manner in which this information spreads is messier than a reality TV reunion battle, but Mama Jones isn't holding back when it comes to her son, as you are well aware. She has defended Chrissy for years, accusing her of gold-digging manipulative behavior and even trying to ruin her relationship with Jim. She realized she had to check out what was going on when she started to observe Chrissy acting suspiciously. A source claims that Mama Jones started to notice some. Although insiders claim that Chrissy has been concealing something below, we're not saying she doesn't appreciate a lace front. Fans started making remarks about her after she shed a lot of weight suddenly and in an unhealthy way. Chrissy cut back on her social life. She loves to party, as you are all aware, but she has been absent from events and red carpet appearances for the past 3 months. Then, like any nosy mother-in-law, Mama Jones searched through the Jim's possessions and found medical records, blood work, and doctor's notes, along with recent images like "Chrissy girl, are you good?" And guess what? Chrissy has leukemia, according to all of the docs. Wait a minute, because the true question is, why did Mama Jones find out? It turns out that Chrissy was unaware of her illness, but rather than disclosing it, she apparently began to act normal by smiling in photos she shared on Instagram. This will make you wonder about everything. Was Jim hiding something? More significantly, why was Chrissy keeping it a secret? We'll talk about that because, darling, the cover-up was even worse than the actual diagnosis. She went so far as to convince Jim that she had only a little cold. But a cold doesn't induce hair loss, covered treatments, or doctors telling you that your time is running out. Why then was she concealing it? There are 3 plausible explanations. She doesn't want to be seen as weak, and reality TV. Stars need to look untouchable. They cannot be destroyed by anything. Chrissy probably did not want Jim to abandon her, nor did she want to be seen as weak or sick. As everyone is aware, Jim and Chrissy have had a rocky relationship for years. According to some accounts, she was worried that if Jim found out, he would begin to cheat or distance himself. She also didn't want to deal with Mama Jones's mouth. And let's be honest, this information would have made Mama Jones pleased. Indeed, she would have been saying things like, "See, I told you she isn't fit for my son." However, an insider claims that Jim lost it rather than supporting Chrissy, and he went into full panic mode after finding out the truth. Never before have I witnessed Jim Jones The man who was always out there rapping and flexing, so broken. Chrissy refused to talk about it, refused to answer his inquiries, and refused to let Jim attend her doctor's office when he attempted to confront her. Jim reportedly spent hours sitting with his SAR in tears, not knowing what to do, who to call, or even how to deal with the possibility that he might not have much time left. Appointments, and even moved into a different room to sleep. Why then would Chrissy push Jim away now? She wants to act like a different person after he has helped her through all of life's highs and lows for years. While some reports claim Chrissy was in denial and refused to accept reality, others claim she was terrified Jim would leave her. The idea that Chrissy didn't want Jim to know the truth is the most shocking. You read correctly. Chrissy's leukemia may not have been a natural occurrence, according to certain reports. We will now explore the most ludicrous conspiracy theories about Chrissy's condition, such as whether it was connected to some dark secrets from her background, whether someone tried to set her up, and most. You're correct if you felt that Chrissy Lynn's leukemia diagnosis was the biggest surprise. Listening sources indicate that there's much more to come, so we are only beginning. Even the most contrived reality TV show couldn't have come up with this storyline turn. More importantly, what will Jim do next? Stay tuned for part 2, because it's going to become much more crazy, and you won't want to miss this. There is more to this story than just a secret illness, and now there are rumors that Chrissy's health problems might not be as normal as they first appear to be. Yes, I did say that some individuals are blatantly suggesting that she might have been set up, but who and why? Let's begin. Jim Jones is horrified to hear about Chrissy's condition and has been sobbing in his car while trying to make up his mind. According to an unnamed source, by Anonymous, I mean someone deep in the mix, there is a theory that Chrissy isn't just sick, rather, she was manufactured sick. This is because Mama Jones is already out here doing detective work, as she did in an episode of CSI Harlem, and she finds out a few things. Let us look at the facts, Chrissy, before you all start to clutch your pearls. Been concealing the entire situation. The second fact is that Mama Jones happened to stumble upon those medical documents at the perfect time. Fact number 3. Some reports claim that as soon as a particular individual returned to the picture, Chrissy's health started to deteriorate. Who could it be? You're not ready for this one, I see. There are rumors that Chrissy's affair may have involved one of Jim's ex-lovers. Sudden health problem. So how about we take a brief journey down memory lane? Before he married Chrissy, Jim Jones had a very successful playing career. However, there was one woman who never really let go of Jim and who constantly had everyone talking. It turns out that the woman is Tahari Doze, the same Tahari from Love and Hip Hop who has been linked to more musicians than a BIT nominee. Let's connect the dots. Chrissy's health started to decline soon after Tahiri and Jim were spotted at the same event a few months earlier. The Tahiri, who apparently had unfinished business with Jim even while he was with Chrissy, was present at the after-party. Let's be honest for a second. Do we truly believe that Tahiri's sporadic reappearance coincided with Chrissy's declining health? It started going down quickly, and then we heard about a weird disease that nobody wanted to talk about. This is where things get very crazy because, as you may remember, Tahiri has been accused of doing shady things before. It's a bit too convenient, but I'm not claiming that Tahiri did anything to Chrissy. While Chrissy has been struggling for her life, an old foe has unexpectedly reappeared. Not to mention the money. Can you guess what else was made public? Over the past few months, millions of dollars, a sizable percentage of Jim's money, had vanished. Mama Jones, who doesn't tamper with her son's bank account, found out that the money was being used to finance some hush-hush after looking into it more. Why were there so many covert transactions and dubious activities if Chrissy's leukemia was a natural condition? But here's the thing. According to sources, Jim's money might have been hush money, which indicates that someone knows something they shouldn't. The true question now is, who is Jim paying off, and why did he have to do it covertly? Now that Jim is paying to keep things quiet, let's take a serious look at this. Was Chrissy involved in some dangerous endeavor that went wrong, Was Jim trying to conceal something that occurred to her, or did Tahiri or someone else commit some illegal activity? Because you won't believe this next part, there have been reports that Chrissy was engaged with. Although Chrissy has been writing for Jim for years, as we all know, she may have engaged in some side activities that could have jeopardized her life and health, according to sources. Now when she's sick, some people believe it's payback rather than a random sickness. I'm referring to backdoor transactions, money laundering, and maybe even some illegal activity. According to rumors, Chrissy became caught up in something far more complicated than she had expected, and when she tried to escape, someone stopped her. Things take a bad turn at this point because if Chrissy wasn't only ill, she was made ill, then who is to blame? Is it a former partner of Jim's, a business associate, or something more important like a carefully orchestrated setup? What's worse is that Jim knows what's happening. Jim has been under a lot of stress because he is aware that Chrissy's illness isn't typical, according to your sources. Why would he be paying off physicians and hospitals behind closed doors? Why would he be hiding medical records instead of stepping out? And why would Mama Jones have to find out about this on her own if this weren't the case? If this goes beyond a simple illness, Jim could be trying to protect Chrissy from something much more serious. But is she really safe? Is Jim planning a secret revenge? Above all, who is going to be revealed next? Because this drama isn't finished yet, I assure you. We'll look at the possible consequences of this whole scenario in part 3. Will Jim Jones come clean at last? Is a secret investigation underway, taking place behind the scenes? And might we be seeing the biggest scandal in the history of love and hip-hop? It's about to get more strange, so you had better listen carefully. This is where everything falls apart, so if you thought part 2 was insane, fasten your seatbelt. We're discussing the disclosure of secrets, the unveiling of covert plans, and a startling conclusion. We now know that Jim Jones has been acting really funny behind the scenes, which is where we left off. We are aware that hush money is at play and that someone may have set Chrissy up, whether it be an old foe, a botched business transaction, or even a member of Jim's own inner circle. But what comes next? Because, darling, this is beginning to resemble a whole criminal case. It's no longer simply some love and hip-hop drama. Conspiracy, and you know who just joined in, the federal government. Yes, none of you misheard me. It has been alleged that Jim's money has been the subject of months of investigation by the FBI and other authorities. Things begin to at this point. Do you recall how we discussed the inexplicable disappearance of millions of dollars from Jim's accounts? As it happens, the government has been keeping an eye on him and waiting for the right opportunity to make their, you guessed it, Chrissy's medical bills, the dubious hospital transactions, and the private physicians no one wants to mention have been the last straw. According to sources, the feds are investigating if Jim has been transferring illicit funds to conceal something far more serious than Chrissy's illness. What's even more bizarre is that Chrissy may now also be a target. Things become tricky at this point because, wow, Jim has been making an effort to hide everything. Chrissy hasn't been sitting back quietly either. Rumor has it that she knows more than she's revealing. And if you want to hear something even more bizarre, there are rumors that she may be prepared to speak with the police at this time. Let's break this down before you all start hurling tomatoes. If Chrissy was actually involved in a risky situation, she could be. Chrissy may be considering protecting herself first after realizing she can't handle this alone and that the feds may have enough information about Jim to defeat him. After all, would you go down for a man who might have put you in danger? This is the twist that will blow your heads away. Mama Jones has been attempting to warn Jim. Yes, she may be overly emotional and histrionic, but she is not stupid. She has been telling. She is now more sure than ever that Chrissy is going to stab Jim in the back to save herself because if she truly loved Jim, why would she keep this entire leukemia thing a secret? Jim has known for years that Chrissy was bad for him. Why would she allow Jim to pay millions of dollars for some unidentified medical care? What's causing her to start speaking to others behind Jim's back? It appears to be quite suspicious, everyone. Who else just spoke up, do you know? Cameron. In V, Jim's old Dipset brother Cameron didn't show up the other night. Although he didn't mention names, he did make some serious remarks about how some people are playing with fire and risking burns. If you read between the lines, it seems like Cameron is aware of what's going to happen and is attempting to alert Jim before it's too late because, let's face it, if Chrissy betrays Jim, she provides the feds with information. Jim doesn't have a chance if she's truly out here saving herself at Jim's expense. Jim may already be too late because a few days ago, someone close to Jim Jones was reportedly taken into custody for interrogation, which typically indicates that the federal government is drawing near. What comes next? Let's dissect it then. If Chrissy is truly on the verge of losing it, Jim must choose between putting Chrissy under the bus first or taking the blame for whatever shady business has been going on. After all, in circumstances like this, it's either you or them, and Jim Jones isn't going down without a fight. Here's where it gets even more crazy. Some people believe that if Jim had simply followed his mother's advice from the beginning, this whole situation could have been averted because, let's be, it appears that genuine Mama Jones was correct all along when she warned Jim that Chrissy would be his undoing. If the FBI has enough information to make an arrest, this might be the final chapter in Jim and Chrissy's relationship. The last query is this: will Jim be able to get his name cleared? Is Chrissy truly going to betray him? Above all, how much longer until the federal government intervenes? Because of you can be sure that this drama is far from over, and the following episode will be much more bizarre. That's it, everyone. This whole situation is reminiscent of a movie. Jim Jones is trapped in the midst of complete pandemonium, Mama Jones spilling tea, and Chrissy Lynn's health scare. But what's actually happening? Is there more to this story than a medical disaster or a family breakdown? We're informed that social media is going insane, but I don't want to hear your thoughts. Please leave a remark below. How do you believe Jim Jones is managing all this pressure? And do you think Chrissy's ailment is real or just another sticky problem between her and Mama Jones? Additionally, you don't want to miss the next big thing. This novel is still in progress, and I will be releasing more exclusive updates shortly, so be sure to turn on the notification bell, hit the like button, and subscribe because when the next shocking revelation comes, I would like to let you know that I will be looking at the comments, so let's discuss.